All right, I'm here with my buddy Alexis,
Hello.
and today we're just going to talk about his passion for music.
Yep.
So to start off, really basic, when and how did you get into music?
So I first started when I was in sixth grade. When I was in sixth grade, I had a teacher, Mr. Pryor. He used to bring his guitar to school, and he would play this one song. It was a Friday song, and to this day, he's like, I promise you 20 years down the line, you won't forget the song. And I still remember the song to this day, and it's been like 10 years.
Okay.
And just seeing him play the guitar just made me like, I want to go learn it. So that same day, or like the third day he brought it to school, I asked my mom, I want to learn the guitar. And I had a cousin, his name was Cruz, shout out Cruz. He would come by every Wednesday to teach me, and eventually I started learning. And then from there, from the guitar, around 14 years old, that's when I started picking up more digital based music, more of like digital audio workstation.
Okay.
And that's when I started making beats. I would call them beats. And then just from there, just started learning, getting better, picking up different styles, sounds, and then eventually, when I was like 17 years old, 16, I started posting my beats online. And from there, I started getting some traction a bit, a couple subscribers. A couple of famous local people started using my beats, like Little Pete from the Bay Area, Shooter Gang Coney from the Sacramento area, and it had Filthy Rich in it also, the Little Pete song. That music video has like 5 million views right now, I believe.
Nice.
And just from there, then I took a break for a while, and I'm slowly getting back into it.
Okay. Besides your teacher, who would you say are some of your early inspirations or motivators?
I would say my mom. She doesn't play any instruments, but she's a really good singer, and just music, and she just in general music. Her music just was like the classic, Mexican music that I really enjoy to this day now.
Or like cumbias, or
more like Jenny Rivera.
Okay.
It's kind of like I don't know that type of style. It's just more like, she's always fucking singing about fuck this, man, for leaving me, this and that,
Yeah.
And my mom's like singing, she sings just like that in a way. That, and also I would say my grandpa, my mom's dad, I never met him. He passed away before I was born. But my mom gave me his guitar that he used to play. And I would say that was one of the biggest inspirations. Just that guitar alone, like, oh, she gave me this, and now, I want to be like that. She was telling me stories about him. I would say those two.
Okay. So, with physical instruments, is it a different feeling for you when you're recording, or do you have the same kind of emotions as when you're recording digitally, would you say? And do you have a preference?
So recently I've been incorporating my instruments with the beats, just like a mixture of both. But in the beginning, after finished learning the guitar and I started picking up more digital, for the longest I didn't even touch my guitar.
Yeah.
I stopped with that just because I was like, this doesn't give me that certain sound and this and that. So I was more in the beginning towards preferring that one. But then later, recently, this last year, I've been incorporating a lot of like my electric guitar with, infused style of like hip hop, indie, So I would say right now, I prefer both.
Okay. You kind of touched base on genres. Where would you say you started genre-wise, and where are you now with the genre that you record?
Oh, okay, that was a good question. Right in the beginning, I used to do a lot of hip hop, like mainly based like Bay Area, like Northern California style, like like the best word I can describe is like a grimy, like very very dirty sound, like, but it was like that the sound people were wanting at the time, and it's like a dope sound. I was more towards that because I enjoyed it for a bit, then I stopped that. After I took a break for a year, I went towards more like indie style, like more live instruments, because I've always listened to that style of music while making the hip hop style at the same time, but I was still more of a majority of the time I listened to like Mac DeMarco, Gus Dappertone, and then so I started incorporating more recently like that indie bedroom pop, they call it. It's like a bedroom pop style, like more of the synth waves in a way.
Okay.
Just like alternative. That's the best way I can describe it. More alternative now.
Okay. As far as your goals with music, do you have any short-term goals, and do you have like perfect world, your end goals?
Yeah, my short-term goals right now is to make more music, but like with my vocals on it, my own music. Because so far I've only made like 2 songs, but I want to make more where I'm really confident and like really just wanting to share it. That's the short term, like at least more music on my end. The long-term goal is probably like make it my career, because I'm going to school for audio production for more like commercial music. That's what they call it. It's like commercial audio something. But
so you're trying to learn the technical stuff too right now?
Yeah, more of that, because I know a lot of the beat making side, but I just want to learn more. I still want to learn more and get more deep into like the sound design and just recording artists and this and that. I want to make my own music still in the future, but I want to live off like having my own recording studio in like my house one day or something. Having people
just to be able to wake up and just do it.
Exactly. Yeah. Record different artists all the time. Make my own music whenever I want. That's the end goal. Just becoming a good audio producer.
Okay, so when you're recording, can you kind of take us through like your thought process? Do you start with an instrument, or do you have like kind of a beat set up in your head, or how do you?
Usually, I don't know. It changes depending on the style or like the day. Like usually, if I'm messing around on my guitar and I play something I like, oh, this would probably be dope, I end up going into my digital audio workstation, and just like either record the guitar or play the chords from the guitar into like a different style, like say a piano or like a synth. I usually start off with that, then get all the other what is it? Like fillers, I have the main chords, add a little sauce to it.
Okay.
Little
flavor.
Little flavor, little drip. I do that, and then I usually end it with like the drums at the end, because the drums for me are the hardest part, because I'm so picky when it comes to it.
Okay, so yeah, that's one of the things I was kind of going to touch on. When you're layering a song and everything, do you consider yourself a perfectionist with a goal in mind with the song, or do you more just kind of go with the flow and let it become its own thing?
In the beginning, I was a perfectionist. I would say I would want to have a certain sound. In the beginning when I was younger, I was like, oh, it doesn't sound like this song. I was always comparing it, so I would never feel like it was complete, because I was always comparing my own music to something else.
Right.
So I'm constantly, oh, nah, this needs that and that, because it sounds like this from this song on the radio, this and that. But then recently I started just being more like, you know what? Like, I think it sounds dope like this, like I want to add something different on this. More recently, it's more going with the flow with it, like you said,
okay.
Because sometimes be like, I see if I'm stuck on a certain, say, an instrument, I'm like, bro, I want something to sound good with this. I end up just be like, you know what? I'm gonna just do something and play it once, and I'm gonna keep it.
Okay.
And usually like that, I think it sounds more natural.
Okay, yeah, natural is good. with like the bigger picture in music, can you talk about some of the things you think music is doing right, and maybe some of the things you want more from music?
Are you talking about music now? Or
Yeah, like the current state of music.
So right now, I'd say the current state's pretty good. On the radio, that shit's whack. Like the radio, I don't even listen to the radio. But more like a lot, like I said, a lot of indie artists or like people coming up, like people can blow up on the internet, and that's
Right.
it. You know, they can be famous from the internet only and still have a career from that. So the music now, I like it because it's kind of going backwards in time. I would say like a lot more. The style is more kind of like I feel like a late '90s, early 2000 vibe recently. You know, so the music's good. There's artists like the 1975, the Gorillaz still up there, you know, doing different styles all the time, not sticking with one. So music's now good. The one on the music on the radio though,
Okay.
booty, straight booty.
All right, just to kind of finish off, let's say a kid is watching this right now. What's the one piece of advice you give them if they say, I want to start doing music of my own?
Honestly, just do it. Like that's the best thing I say. Just do it. Don't stop saying. Don't be in a cycle where you're saying you're gonna do it and then never do it. You know what I mean? Like I would say, it doesn't matter if you're just learning or never even seen instruments. You know, just whatever just sounds good to you. That's all that matters. Make music you want to listen to. You know, you like make your own music. You know, and enjoy it. Make sure it's fun. Because if you're doing it just because you think it's this and that, I want to this and that, do it just because it's fun.
Okay.
You know?
All right, and then lastly, do you have any platforms you want to give yourself a shout out to?
I mean, I can do my I used to have my old YouTube channel, but I kind of retired from that one. You know, RIP. I can do my regular Instagram. My regular Instagram is Alexis BMG, B as in banana, MG, 99. Yeah, Alexis BMG 99
Okay.
at Instagram.com. That's about it. Soon, eventually, I'm gonna redo my thing, start a new YouTube again. You know, just slowly come back out of it. So that's all I have right now.
All right.
My Instagram.
Well, thanks for taking time out of your day,
No
talking about
problem.
your passions.
Thank you for having me, Matt.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up there.
Alrighty.